Does Shedeur Sanders have that elite arm? Coach Rizz sets the record straight. He breaks down Shedeur's arm, and Shedeur sets training camp on fire. We got some throws, but one particular throw has been the throw of the camp. Shedeur is showing he's dialed in and he's bringing his A game. So let's tap in.
Welcome to the Reese, we'll show you. Tap in, and then no better sports destination for you. I go hard to bring you every sports tape, from the NFL highlights to NBA fast break dunks. Yes, I'm Reese Will, can't leave out my fine Barbie sisters hitting the three-pointers. I share with you every sports big moments under the sun. We chop it up together. I raise your chest and we have so much fun. Whatever turning, that no clickbait vibes. I'm spitting straight facts, pushing back on all negative agendas. That's what I do, just for you on the Reese Will show. So know this for sure. From the draft to the championship runs with me. We always win. It's time to go live and let the show.
Now we got some great news. We got Denzel Ward has signed. It's a new deal for Denzel, Pro Bowl cornerback Denzel Ward, and the Browns have agreed to a 2-year deal, $62.2 million extension that makes him the highest paid DB in the NFL history for the second time in his career. The deal negotiated by Tory Dandy of Athletes First includes $52.3. Breaking news. And I know this came out a little earlier, but man, I'm excited about that. Denzel, hometown guy, glad he's back. And man, this is something special. Speaking on that, let's tap into Shedeur Sanders and one of his throws that has shook the camp and taken the camp over with. Now let's bring this so we can see the full version of this. Shedeur out here throwing dimes, man, dropping dimes. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Sky. Dropped it in the bucket. Isaiah Bond. Look at this throw. Are you serious? Man, effortlessly. Like, he didn't have to move. He didn't have to budge. It wasn't an inch too far or too short. Incredible. Like, come on now. If anybody got anything to say about Shedeur throwing, they got to be out of their mind. They got to be out of their mind. I could watch this all day, this throw, over and over again. Look at this. That's the throw of the camp, baby. That's the throw of the camp. That is the throw. One more time. That's the throw of the camp. Wow, look at that. Amazing. Incredible. But like I said, speaking of throwing the football, Coach Rizz breaks down what he thinks Shedeur Sanders' greatest asset is. Let's bring in Coach Rizz. And on 92.3 The Fan, Coach Rizz was talking about Shedeur's greatest asset, and let's tap into it.
And then Shedeur comes in. Now, he was not projected to have some elite NFL arm. Maybe we're talking about a real first-round quarterback, aside from all the other reasons he might have slipped. If he would have had that arm, his athleticism, man, he got out of some crazy pass rushes, but he's not normally given credit for being like a freak athletically gifted guy. But yet, with that said, I saw him throw some beautiful deep balls last year. And then, later in the year, it gets tougher because of the winds and in that stadium. But he still was able to complete some passes down the field, which kind of surprised me. How do you when you look at their arm, how do you evaluate the arm strength and how that could dictate things?
Well, arm strength comes down to anticipation. And do you know where you're going with the ball? And when you do that, your arm strength becomes better than it really is, because you know exactly what the defense is going to do and where your guy's going to be. And if you can anticipate where your guy's going to be and throw the ball early, I'll go old school here with Dan Marino and Joe Montana. Not elite arms, right? Even though Dan could zip it, it was the idea of, if you know where you're going with the football, and you anticipate it, that anticipation leads to arm talent. Now, there are guys like Josh Allen who can just say, you're open and I'm going to fire to you. But if you don't have that arm, you got to be anticipatory, and you got to understand where people are going to be. That's what these guys got to do better. That's what will Deshaun, we'll see. Like I said, I thought it looked really good in the spring. That's always been Shedeur's strength, is anticipation. So that's why his arm strength, even though it's not elite, he does throw with good anticipation. He's got to throw with better anticipation at the NFL level than he did at Colorado. That's where the improvement, the footwork, the anticipation, that's what needs to get back to what it was at Colorado if he's going to be a successful NFL quarterback. But that's really what arm strength is. It's just a part of it. Because if you don't have a rocket, you got to know where people are and where defenders are going to be.
That's Coach Rizz. Yes, the radio segment. This is directly about Shedeur Sanders, and the take is generally a compliment to his game. You know, Coach Rizz saying that it's his basically his favorite skill is his anticipation, which in his eyes his best strength. He talks about pretty much how smart and how he reads the defense and knows where his players are going, and he can throw ahead on time. He can throw the ball with perfect timing, and that's exactly what he's really saying. So even though he mentioned his raw physical, arm strength might not be elite to the point where he can just throw it through like a rocket launcher, he's complimenting him, and Lima did somewhat too, complimenting him by saying that he's so smart that it makes his arm seems better than what it is. It is essentially saying he wins with his brain. They giving an example of some of the older players back, famous quarterbacks like Joe Montana, who maybe didn't throw the ball the hardest, but were so smart, like chess players out there on the field. And this is what Shedeur brings to the table. So my take on it, you need them both. You don't just need to be able to anticipate. You got to have that raw power to be the best. And I believe Shedeur's anticipation, his ball placement, and I do believe he throws the ball hard, but it may not be the hardest like Josh Allen or something, but he don't need to do that. So, but in my eyes, he has you just seen the ball that he threw. He has everything he needs. He has enough power, enough arm strength, and accuracy and ball placement to be, a top 10 quarterback in the league, I believe. So now we also got Tony Grossi has had the nerve to talk about the QB tracker. We've already debunked that. So let's just take a listen to what he's talking about.
The quarterback is going to take center stage, and it all starts tomorrow with the tracker, which will be live, correct?
Oh, yeah. Let everybody know we only track 7-on-7 periods and 11-on-11 team periods. So you see a lot of video of one-on-ones, great catch, great pass. It does not count on the tracker.
Okay. So the tracker is only when there's defenders out there.
Right.
Okay.
And it's also got to be at more than walkthrough. Sometimes they do those periods in a semi-walkthrough where it's not competitive. That doesn't count either. It's got to be competitive.
All right. Correct.
Oh, yeah. Let everybody.
Tony Grossi's talking about the QB tracker. We already debunked that. So I will not be using it on this channel for reference. I might use it to crack on them or something like that for posting it. That's pretty much a joke. It's been even debunked as inaccurate, and basically we stopped using it as a reference. It's clearly biased and unfair, especially to players like Shedeur Sanders. This tracker isn't based on facts. It's based on subjective opinions and narrative, like narrative tracking, basically making it useless for actual analysis and misleading for the actual fans. My question is, why are we giving this thing any credibility, something we know is garbage? Let me know in the comments what you think. Are y'all tired of this QB tracker mess? And let me know what you guys thought about Coach Rizz and his analysis of Shedeur Sanders. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next video.